when it comes to climate change. If we do not phase out combustion engines, we will never reach our net zero goal.
When it comes to the automotive world, the possibilities are endless. In a recent sudden announcement, Mercedes informed the world about a groundbreaking innovation that could completely change the auto industry's future. This isn't just a new engine, it's a direct challenge to the dominance of electric vehicles. Promising jaw-dropping range, unmatched durability, and sustainability we've never seen, this innovation could upend the entire EV market. Could this be the moment combustion technology makes an unexpected comeback? Or is it just the beginning of a new era? Join us as we reveal how Mercedes plans to change the game forever. Mercedes at it again. Mercedes has shocked the automotive world with a revolutionary engine that could change everything we know about cars. They've recently revealed their game-changing axial flux motors. This marks a major leap in electric vehicle technology. These revolutionary engines, which were produced in-house starting this year, are set to deliver higher performance and greater efficiency for their upcoming electric and hybrid vehicles. This innovation is expected to transform the way Mercedes produces its electric cars. The motors, which will be used in performance-oriented models like AMG vehicles, are more powerful and efficient. Mercedes plans to build them at its Berlin plant, ensuring tight control over the entire electric powertrain system, which includes the electric motor, battery, and power electronics. This integration aims to make their electric vehicles more reliable and cost-effective, advancing Mercedes' electric strategy as they strive for half of their cars to be purely electric or hybrid by next year. The switch to in-house production of these axial motors shows Mercedes' push towards vertical integration, reducing its reliance on external suppliers and positioning itself as a leader in the rapidly evolving EV market. These advanced motors will enable more capable hybrids and efficient EVs, paving the way for future developments in electric mobility. Now you may be wondering what makes this engine so unique. It's not just about power, it's about doing more with less. Early reports suggest this engine uses innovative materials and advanced engineering to deliver unmatched performance while being lighter and more efficient. Think of an engine that offers better mileage, lower emissions, and a longer lifespan, all while keeping costs down. Mercedes has blended traditional engineering brilliance with futuristic thinking, and the results are stunning. But it's not just the specs that make this reveal so exciting, it's the timing. With electric vehicles dominating headlines, Mercedes has taken a bold step in another direction. The company has hinted that this engine could outperform even the best EVs in range and reliability. While EVs rely heavily on charging infrastructure, this new engine could offer convenience and independence, giving drivers freedom without worrying about running out of battery power. This move also reflects Mercedes' vision for the future. The company has always been known for doing the impossible in automotive, and this engine shows they aren't ready to let electric vehicles take over without a fight. So why is it being called a game changer? Because it challenges everything we assume about the future of cars. Mercedes isn't just improving what already exists, they're redefining it. This new engine could force other automakers to rethink their strategies and develop faster, cleaner, and more adaptable technologies. For consumers, this means big things. For years, people have always looked for a car that's powerful, efficient, affordable, and reliable. This engine could lower drivers' costs while delivering a better experience behind the wheel. Mercedes is setting a new standard, and it's one that other brands might struggle to keep up with. Interestingly, the most mind-blowing thing about this innovation is its advanced technology, which promises to change the way we think about power, efficiency, and sustainability in cars. Unlike traditional combustion engines, or even the standard electric motors we're familiar with today, this new system is designed to outperform conventional engines and electric vehicles. To make it more intriguing, let's break down what makes this engine so powerful and why it's already causing a buzz in the automotive industry. The power behind the innovation. Remember that earlier in this video, we mentioned the game-changing axial flux motors. Yes, we made no mistakes. Mercedes' use of axial flux motors is at the core of this groundbreaking technology. These motors differ from the traditional radial flux motors typically used in most vehicles, including electric ones. Axial flux motors are compact, more efficient, and lighter, giving them an edge in performance and reliability. Mercedes has perfected the design of these motors, allowing them to generate more power while using less energy, which is a significant advantage for both electric and hybrid cars. So why does the shape of the motor matter? Think of a fan. The traditional radial fan spins in a circular direction, much like the radial motors, but an axial fan, aligned with the airflow direction, works more efficiently because the airflow is more direct and without unnecessary resistance. Similarly, axial flux motors use a more direct energy conversion method, making them lighter and better at generating high power with minimal loss. With a more compact engine that produces high energy, vehicles using this technology can remain light, fast, and agile without compromising performance. Undoubtedly, efficiency is one of the key advantages of this new engine. Whether combustion or electric, traditional engines suffer from energy losses due to heat and friction, but the axial flux motors are designed to be significantly more efficient, directly converting energy from the power source into motion. Mercedes' new engine design also ensures the vehicle can run longer on a single charge or in a fuel tank. This means fewer stops for recharging or refueling, which is one of the biggest challenges facing electric vehicles. With a more efficient engine, drivers will experience fewer range anxiety moments, and cars will become more practical for long-distance travel. This is a huge step in making electric and hybrid cars as convenient as their gas-powered counterparts. But that's not all. Mercedes has also focused on battery optimization, boosting the engine's efficiency. By pairing these advanced motors with high-performance batteries, the system works seamlessly to provide excellent range without compromising speed or power. This efficiency isn't just about getting more miles out of a battery. It's also about lowering overall energy consumption and making the car more environmentally friendly. But you'll be mistaken if you think you've seen it all, because another standout feature of Mercedes' new engine is its durability. You'd agree that traditional motors can wear out over time due to friction and the heat generated, but the axial flux motors are designed with fewer moving parts and better heat management, making them last longer and perform better over time. Plus, this new engine also boasts reliability. Mercedes has tested it under extreme conditions and has shown it maintains its performance under high and low temperatures, which can often impact a vehicle's ability to perform efficiently. In comparison, many electric cars today suffer from diminished range and power in extreme weather conditions. With Mercedes' new engine, drivers can expect consistent performance no matter the environment. So, by improving both the motor and the supporting systems, Mercedes is creating an engine that doesn't just deliver power. It keeps performing like new for longer. This is important not only for car owners, but also for the environment. As the longer an engine lasts, the fewer resources are required for replacements and repairs, leading to less waste. But do you think with all these features, this new engine has the potential to outperform electric vehicles? Now listen so you don't miss this part. One of the most daring aspects of Mercedes' new engine is how it challenges electric vehicles. Yes, you heard us right. While electric cars have been hailed as the future, they come with challenges, including charging infrastructure, battery degradation, and long charging times. Mercedes' new engine, however, could overcome many of these issues, potentially outpacing EVs in both performance and convenience. For one, the engine could deliver a much higher power-to-weight ratio than traditional EV motors, giving the vehicle more power without adding extra weight. This means cars could be faster, handle better, and accelerate faster. Plus, because the engine is more efficient, it doesn't require the bulky battery packs common in electric vehicles today. This makes it easier to design lighter, faster, and more efficient cars. But the real advantage comes when comparing performance across longer distances. Remember, we mentioned how electric cars rely on charging stations, which can be scarce in some areas. What if we tell you that Mercedes' engine could offer a more practical solution for everyday use? So, drivers no longer need to worry about finding a charging station or waiting hours to recharge their batteries. Instead, the engine's efficiency and durability would make it more reliable for long road trips, a big issue with many of today's EVs. Undoubtedly, Mercedes' decision to develop and use this new engine shows they aren't content with keeping up with trends. They want to set new standards in the industry. This innovative technology isn't just about creating another car, but redefining what a car can do. By investing in this advanced engine, Mercedes is positioning itself as a sustainable, high-performance transportation leader. It makes sense for the environment by improving fuel efficiency and reducing carbon emissions, but it also promises to improve the driving experience, making it more enjoyable, practical, and affordable. In the end, the technology behind Mercedes' new engine has the potential to reshape the future of transportation. Combining the best internal combustion, hybrid, and electric technologies, this engine could create a whole new category of vehicles that are cleaner, more efficient, and more affordable. This engine represents the next generation of driving, where performance and sustainability go hand in hand. It's not just about getting from point A to point B, it's about revolutionizing how we think about cars and their role in our lives and the environment. With Mercedes leading the charge, the future of driving could look very different from what we see today. You would agree that Mercedes' new axial flux engine is a game changer, but could it be the end of the EV dominance we've seen grow over the past decade? Let's explore the potential implications of this innovative technology and whether it could slow down the electric vehicle revolution or inspire even greater advancements. The challenge to EVs. The EV revolution has been unstoppable for years, fueled by global efforts to reduce carbon emissions and the increasing demand for greener, more sustainable vehicles. The electric motor's quiet, powerful performance has made it the go-to choice for automakers and consumers looking for a cleaner alternative to gasoline engines. Yet while EVs are hailed for their environmental benefits, they still come with challenges like high manufacturing costs, charging infrastructure, and the ever-present issue of battery range and charging time. Mercedes' new axial flux motor may turn these challenges upside down. This engine is compact, more efficient, and has a higher power-to-weight ratio than traditional motors, making it an appealing alternative for electric and hybrid vehicles. It's expected to offer more performance without needing massive, heavy batteries. This basically means it could make cars lighter, more powerful, and much cheaper to produce while maintaining the same range and efficiency electric vehicles promise. This means the new engine could offer a cleaner solution, even for non-electric cars. But could it slow down the EV revolution? The simple answer is, it could, but not in the way you might think. The axial flux engine doesn't necessarily compete directly with EVs, but rather introduces a more versatile technology that could challenge current electric models in some ways. The efficiency of this engine could make hybrid cars more attractive, offering a balanced solution between electric power and traditional combustion engines. For consumers who aren't ready to fully commit to an EV, a hybrid powered by this new engine is a better option, slowing the overall growth of the all-electric vehicle market. But while hybrid models may see a resurgence, it's important to remember that this technology could inspire more advancements in electric mobility. The new engine's higher efficiency and lower cost of production could lead to more affordable electric vehicles with better range and performance. Manufacturers may adopt this engine design to improve existing electric models, which would continue to drive the evolution of the EV market. So instead of ending EV dominance, Mercedes' engine could spark more innovation. It forces automakers to rethink the future of cars and how they combine electric and traditional technologies. We may see the best of both worlds, more powerful hybrids, highly efficient electric vehicles, and better infrastructure. The advances made with this engine might lead to breakthroughs in electric batteries. By making the motor more efficient and lighter, there could be an increased focus on improving the batteries that power EVs, leading to better performance and faster charging times. Thus, this innovation could fuel further EV advancements rather than replacing EVs, propelling us closer to the cleaner, greener future we've been promised. As we continue to see new advancements, whether in electric motors or battery technology, the future of the automotive industry looks incredibly exciting. The question isn't whether electric vehicles will dominate, but how innovation will shape and evolve the next generation of sustainable cars. Known as the world's largest automobile vehicle manufacturer, Toyota factories are quite versatile, having flooded the vehicle market with their series of models such as cars and minivans, SUVs and Jeeps, as well as trucks. These cars have been designed and produced for both economical and luxury use, and have kept a top spot in the automobile market, having produced astonishing numbers of cars yearly. Stats has it that the company was producing about 10 million vehicles annually, and has reached a cumulative production rate of over 300 million vehicles produced globally, making it the biggest car company in the world. An impressive stats other brands would look up to meet. But how is it, despite these numbers and achievements, Toyota feels threatened by the innovation of the EV engine? The answer is simple. People love to go what is cost-effective, simple, and would take out less from their pocket. It's a huge thing having to purchase a vehicle, means you have to always prepare to spend ranging from gas money, maintenance, and change of spare parts, just to name a few. Although you might not necessarily have to do this every single time, one major aspect which your vehicle will always require you to pay for is fuel. Refueling is very important, as it ensures the car never stop running. You need gas to drive around your desired location, and that has been some sort of a constraint for Toyota's customers. The price of fuel is sold separately in various locations. It might seem cheap in fewer countries, but overly expensive in others. As much as customers would want to enjoy the comfort of driving their vehicle over the usage of public transportation, they cannot neglect the fact that fuel is a major expenditure in their day-to-day activities. These factors have made customers search for a cheaper means of providing low-cost means of transportation. This made people consider EV models on vehicles. In 1901, the first electric car was designed and produced by Ferdinand Porsche, and has since been taken into innovation by different brands. Using only solar as a means of power, electric cars have managed to find a way to cut costs and put themselves as a better economic option. When the development of EVs in the automobile market, Toyota's CEO had his say about the reinvention. "I couldn't see more than 30% of the world's cars being EVs at any time. No matter what the auto industry undertakes, the electric car segment will only ever account for a maximum of 30% of the market." As per his statements, Toyota intends to adopt a multi-pronged strategy to reduce emissions, utilizing battery electric vehicles, BEV, in addition to automobiles with internal combustion engines, hybrid, or hydrogen drivetrains. Toyota said these other models would eventually make up 70% of the market. Amidst Toyota's CEO statement, Toyota's initial focus was on hybrid technology, but with recent developments and innovation, the company is also considering diving into EV cars, but is keen on mastering hybrid technology first. In the meantime, Toyota has established a foundation upon which to expand its fully electric ambitions. Hydrogen engine technology. Toyota has unveiled its West groundbreaking design to revolutionize the automotive landscape and reclaim its dominance in the market. The company had huge success in the market in the year 2023, smashing a record number of 11.2 million vehicles in total.
Toyota is recalling more than 1 million vehicles worldwide.
These records were made up by both traditional car engines and the newest innovations of EV engines. Although electric cars were also a part of the record sales, it wasn't considered a huge part of the success. This is because only a total of 104,000 of vehicles produced and distributed from Toyota last year were electric. Percentage-wise, that is just around 0.926%. Before this record of sales, the chief executive officer still believed there was a strong demand for the traditional engine over the electric.
Well, on the CBS Money Watch, hybrid cars are back in the spotlight. Sales are surging as all-electric vehicle sales slow down.
Hence why the company isn't making electric cars a major part of their vehicle production, but rather delving into hydrogen engines. Toyota is charting clear of the electric wave in the world, as numerous car brands have started to move into the production of electric cars, with plans to stop the production of vehicles powered by fuel and diesel in the coming years. Car makers such as Jaguars, Chrysler, Aston Martin, Rolls-Royce, Maserati, Opel, and Volvo have committed to fully going into electric models of cars by the end of the decade. Shockingly, Toyota's brand, Lexus, has also promised to stop selling vehicles with combustion engines by 2035.
So let me start by updating you on the status of a luxury brand, Lexus.
In Europe, some car makers have made plans to sell only EVs. For example, Mercedes has plans to switch entirely to electric in Europe by 2030, but only on the condition the market will be favorable.
Right here is the heart of our AMG, and this engine was actually built here in Affalterbach at our AMG headquarters, after the iconic principle, one man, one engine.
Mercedes' long rival Audi will stop the production of combustion engine cars by 2032. Volkswagen plans on producing EVs in Europe in 2033. This brings us to the question if these huge and successful brands are keen on taking the idea of shifting from combustion engine cars to electric models. Why is Toyota refusing to do the same? What impact will it have on the brand if they eventually start to produce electric cars?
Rare look at an electric car that has just 3 wheels.
The KPI X5's Betty Yu took the Toyota prototype for a test drive today. Check it out.
Toyota CEO Akito Toyoda had his view about the electric vehicle. He believed that the invention of battery electric vehicle is one of the numerous solutions to achieve carbon neutrality globally. As promising as that sounds, the reason why he can't fully commit to the production of electric cars. Reason being that the charging infrastructure of these vehicles will be a constraint to Toyota users. Statistically, around 1 billion people globally do not have access to constant electricity, which is a major source of power for these vehicles. In these areas, Toyota's products are in great demand. For Toyota, switching from combustion engines to electric models wouldn't be a great idea, hence the investment in making engines powered by hydrogen. A unique model of an engine that Toyota is sure would be of greater value, use, investment, and profit to users generally. This brings us to another question. Is a hydrogen engine a better option? How does it work?
Especially with a direct injection system, which is spray-guided, and a bi-turbo system, which reacts as fast as lightning.
What are the advantages it has over electric vehicles? How does the Toyota hydrogen engine work? By transcending existing fuel technologies through electrolysis, this happens in real time to create a self-sustaining cycle. Unlike the traditional hydrogen vehicles, which require cumbersome high-pressure storage tanks, the hydrogen engine employs a water tank equipped with electrodes. The moment these electrodes receive a higher voltage, they immediately separate water into its basic element, which is hydrogen and oxygen, the elements which come together and are responsible for making water solutions.
So the idea is, what if instead of making a whole bunch of new electric cars, we instead took the combustion cars that we already have built and converted them to hydrogen-based fuels?
After the hydrogen is isolated, it is then directed into the combustion chambers where it ignites, replicating how natural gases ignite. The eco-conscious implications of this innovation could be placed next to transformative, as when this engine is running, it emits near or zero emissions. Even the most advanced electric engines and vehicles haven't gotten this feature yet.
Now, we need to discuss emissions because it's not quite as simple as you take oxygen and hydrogen and then out comes water. So of course air has nitrogen.
This feat alone shows reasons why Toyota's CEO boasted about this engine putting out electric cars. It sidesteps environmental repercussions associated with extracting rare earth metals for batteries and oil consumption from traditional engines. Incredible, right? These new engines might just be revolutionary in the automobile world. Now, beyond its ecological virtues, the hydrogen engine is user-friendly. A vehicle with this engine can be refueled with distilled water, a resource that is easy to come by and in plenty of abundance. This is in stark contrast to the logistical complexity of charging electric vehicles or even the refueling of hydrogen cars. This engine is promising especially to the environment. It produces nearly zero emissions, rivaling EVs, but offering greater convenience. The engine is able to refuel from any source of diluted water. This engine sidesteps the logistic complications attached to hydrogen-based vehicles, traditional engines, and EVs. When compared to hydrogen engines and heavy FCVs, the Toyota water engine stands out as an eco-friendly marvel. Storing water is simple and inexpensive in stark contrast to hydrogen, which demands heavily armored, vigorously monitored tanks. The pure form of hydrogen is challenging to contain and prone to escape if there are any irregularities with the tank. The tank needs constant monitoring and maintenance. Meanwhile, A water-powered vehicle could use any plastic container as its storage tank. Additionally, storing hydrogen outside of a vehicle involves its own sets of challenges, requiring specific temperatures and steady leak-proof tanks as hydrogen easily leaks. Distilled water, in contrast, is readily available in any store or supermarket and can even be produced at home using basic chemistry. The costliness of storing and producing hydrogen has impeded its widespread spread option, ultimately driving out consumer prices and undermining its viability as a long-term fuel alternative. While water engines might sound like a futuristic concept, they are poised to be eminently practical for everyday use. Contrary to some perceptions, these engines are not lacking in power. They can match the power and performance of conventional gasoline engines and surpass them. Water engines have the capability to generate 3 times energy compared to gasoline counterparts. This is another feat that is seen to possibly put electric and traditional engines under the radar as these new engines make their way into the automobile market. A revolution we cannot wait to befall upon, as with each passing day. What makes this new engine stand out? Other than being an innovation by Toyota, along with it being powered by water, the hydrogen power engines can match the performance of their gasoline counterparts due to hydrogen's unique nature as a fuel. This is because when hydrogen burns, it does faster than fuel, resulting in rapid combustion that enhances the engine rapidness, which is critical for driving. When drivers use traditional engines, immediately they press down on the accelerator, they expect an immediate throttle response, a distinctive engine sound with a sense of power. Toyota has been able to replicate the same features and characteristics on this new hydrogen engine, while using a cleaner fuel, making this unique engine stand out amongst others, which means users who might migrate from either electric engines or traditional engines wouldn't see a significant change negatively when using the new Toyota's engine, as it'll still be able to reenact the nostalgic feeling of traditional and electric vehicles while driving. Toyota has also conducted numerous vigorous tests to show that the new hydrogen engine can compete with traditional engines, as many drivers would have preferred. The test was able to showcase that Toyota's new hydrogen engine can compete with traditional engines and even traditional racing cars in terms of endurance, speed, and agility. Toyota's 4A has been able to yield promising results by modifying and refining existing engine design to be able to accommodate hydrogen fuel, achieving power input that rivals and exceeds that of conventional gasoline engines. Toyota has merged the dynamics of traditional combustion engines with the use of a cleaner fuel source. Whether on the racetrack or for day-to-day activities, Toyota has ensured that its new engine delivers the performance, sensation, and enjoyment that driver expects from traditional engines. When comparing water engines to fossil fuel engines would give a clearer reason as to why this new engine is breaking the bounds in the automotive industry. Water is more potent than regular gasoline as a fuel source. Putting this in practice, a liter of water can produce around 90 to 96 megajoules of power, whereby a liter of fuel produces only 29 megajoules of energy. This is 4 times less than what is being generated by water engines. Before you get all hyped up about getting a hyper-hydrogen vehicle, you should know that is not going to be the case in all vehicles. Of course, the cars will have enough power to meet the needs of most people, but it isn't going to be like a race car hitting over 180 miles per hour, but it will be able to generate power to satisfy most people's needs. Another thing is that internal combustion engine produces all sorts of toxic emissions, the most notable of which is the extreme amount of carbon dioxide, whereas the water power engine produces only water vapor, which causes next to zero emission, making the water engine a blessing we have all been waiting for in the automobile industry. Utilizing water as a way of fueling the car is simply much better from a pragmatic standpoint. Water is considerably cheaper than gasoline and diesel, making the car as economical as an EV. Benefits of hydro engines. When talking about the benefits of hydro engines, one characteristic that must be mentioned is how much of an impact it has on the environment. They are also in no way dependent on the electric grid. The electric grid, as we all know, uses fossil fuels to produce electric energy. This new engine has been able to curb these needs in traditional engines out of its reasons to work efficiently. Electric vehicles, when taken a closer look, are just too expensive and unaffordable by the masses. Majorly, they can't even be afforded for any utilitarian use, unlike traditional combustion engines, as most of them are considered to be luxury cars by the price tags alone. In the case of this new hydro engine, you don't need the hydrogen to be pre-separated from the oxygen, making the entire process cheaper and convenient on a convenient scale, which is another benefit users are going to be taken advantage of when this new engine starts to flood the automotive markets. Another overlooked benefit of the hydro engine is the ability to fill up its tanks in a matter of minutes with a far-range drive compared to the traditional engines can offer. However, there are several drawbacks as well, as not everyone is convinced that this is a technology that can be used on a large scale and requires several improvements before it can be used. In developing these new engines, Toyota considers the numerous fascinating environmental benefits of hydrogen. What could these environmental benefits be? Toyota's focus on eco-friendly technologies highlights the intriguing proposition of hydrogen-powered internal combustion engines. Questions about how these engines compared environmentally to hybrid electric vehicles and what sets hydrogen engines apart in terms of environmental impact have been answered by a recent explanation of the environmental benefits of hydrogen engines, which is the emission of the hydrogen engine when in use, which differs significantly in the case of traditional fuel engines, as these engines release carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide that is released is known as a greenhouse gas that contributes to global warming, while Toyota's hydrogen engine produces zero emissions when in function. When these hydrogen engines are in use, they release water vapor from their exhaust, which is usually clean and has no foul impact on the environment and globally at large. Achieving such minimal environmental impact is possible due to the unique combustion process of these engines. If we go back to our prelim school days, we know that a combination of hydrogen molecules and oxygen molecules would result in a formula called H2O, which is water. This exact process is simply what happens when these hydrogen engines are in uses. The hydrogen fuel reacts with oxygen in the air to generate energy, thereby leading to water vapor as its byproduct. Another benefit of this engine is that hydrogen has a high energy density, which means it can store a lot of energy in a small volume in comparison to traditional engines. Hydrogen can also be produced from renewable sources such as wind, solar, or hydropower, making it a clean and sustainable energy source. Challenges and safety concerns with hydrogen technology. Even with the hydrogen engine being one of the latest and most promising technologies to be invented in vehicles, it has its pros which we can't overlook.
And now we are down to well under 10% full of hydrogen. I want to say state of charge, but this is all new to me.
These factors are ones to consider before deciding on acquiring vehicles accustomed to hydrogen. You might think the challenges associated with hydrogen might not be as bad as the traditional engine vehicles. What are your guesses? Wait till you hear some of the challenges associated with hydrogen technology. Hydrogen has high flammability, making it a potentially risky fuel to handle. And that's why Toyota is addressing this concern through meticulous engineering and strict safety protocols by developing large containers that will be used for storing hydrogen fuel. We've come to the end of this video. What do you think about Mercedes's new innovation? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click on the following video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.